Let's do this. Yeah, baby. Workout Central, baby. Woo! Oh, a good post-workout snack is definitely what I need, man. Whew. Oh, man. Oh.
The hell are you doing? What are you wearing?
I'm working out, man. I'm getting in shape. Getting in shape, dude. Come on.
For one thing, Seth, you look like an 80s aerobics instructor reject from one of those bad 80s movies.
Just getting my 80s on, you know? Just getting my 80s on, my waffles on, you know? Actually, more of the waffles on than my 80s on, but I mean, still, I look damn good, now don't I? Come on now, I look damn good.
No, you're not. Okay, you at least try to do something productive today?
I'm watching Stranger Things Season 3.
Where are you at on there?
I'm actually at the ending. It's not bad. You know, I just worked out for, you know, like 8-9 hours. You know.
Have you actually been watching it instead of working out? You know everything that's been going on, like all the little tidbits for the possible next season and, the Easter eggs and that kind of stuff? Trust me, I've been paying more attention than you have. I'm more of an expert in it than you are.
Well, look, if you're such the expert on Season 3 and, if you think you know your best, how about we actually, talk about it, shall we, Mr. Know-It-All?
Let's see your Stranger Things Season 3 knowledge compared to me. I'm going to win, because unlike you, I pay attention instead of working out and eating Eggos.
My Stranger Things Season 3 knowledge is way better than yours. If it's half as good as my waffle knowledge, well, you, sir, are gonna get beat. For sure. Let's get to this, shall we? Oh, man, I need to take a break from the workout anyways, man. Whew,
You're 10 seconds actually working out?
Dude, I was working my ass off.
Yeah. Sure you were. Yeah, you're working so hard to gain into calories back from your workout.
That's part of the working out. You gain weight, and then you work out, you make muscle. You know what I'm saying?
She's got more muscle in her brain than you do in your entire body.
Damn bastard. Doesn't know anything about working out, sweating.
Eh.
Guys, welcome everybody to our Stranger Things Season 3 spoiler discussion right here.
We're on Season 3 already.
Oh my god. Now, okay. So
the yearly weights is when you get to that year and you're just like, oh, I've got to wait a year, then you actually get to actually watching it. I think in a lot of ways, when you get that new season and you're allowed to binge watch it now, the entire season in one day,
You
in some ways, I think he kind of loses the suspense for it.
I think it does too. I think it would be better just building it up episode after
And then you get
episode.
kind of antsy and you get so damn drawn into it. It's like you need to get through it all, otherwise you're gonna be like you're gonna be like itching your face on like what what happened in the next episode. I need to know
Well, this is true, and I mean,
compared to what we had in the last season.
I mean, let's talk about it for a second because I have the two physical media releases right here, guys. I mean, when the first Stranger Things came out,
Instantly hooked.
instantly hooked. Not only is it instantly hooked, but it was a phenomenon. Everybody was like, "Holy crap, this thing is amazing."
I wasn't even past the first episode. I'm like, this is already getting kind of weird, and I like the weird stuff. You know, the interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Especially the paranormal kind of stuff.
I know that was great. The first season is just pure
Pretty
perfection.
dark in a lot of area.
It's dark, it's pure perfection, and it's just 80s nostalgia, just dripping with it.
I mean, in a lot of ways, she kind of reminds me of Firestarter with Drew Barrymore.
Nah, yeah, it kind of does, honestly.
I mean, look at the similarities. Both were byproducts of experiments back in those days. Both developed paranormal powers.
One badass chick, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, season 2 came out.
Oof.
Now, I think a
It's
lot
hard.
of people were really hyped about season 2 after season 1.
See, the problem with when you got such a great first season, it's
Yeah.
like, how are you going to top that?
I think that was the problem. I mean, I really like season 2.
I honestly didn't see any flaws. I mean, you wondering what happened after the season one. I'm like, where are they going to go from here? Then you get most of those answers within like the first two episodes.
You really do. I like the development of the characters. I liked the aspects of expanding on the story, expanding on the Upside Down. I liked all of that.
That, and I think for me,
Yeah.
like from season one, you see them as little children, and they're going to young preteens, and
Yes.
then in season three, they're teens.
And then they're yeah. So I mean, to me, season 2 is very much a transitional type of season.
Every season's more of a coming of age story.
Yes, I thought it was good. I know people were disappointed with it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. I was definitely more of a fan of it for sure. I thought it expanded on stuff in a great way. But I know that a lot of people were going into season 3 very, I don't want to say hesitant, because it wasn't exactly hesitant, more than it was like, okay, they weren't quite happy with season 2, so they wanted to see where season 3 was going to improve upon stuff, or if it was going to take the story in more unexpected ways, and
All that and just the watching of the trailers, I'm like, what are we gonna be expecting out of this?
all I knew going into season 3 was the mall. I knew some new characters were gonna be around. I knew it was gonna be definitely sort of like focused on, romance and teen love and
A lot of 80s stereotypes.
a lot of 80s stereotypes, a shitload of 80s stereotypes. And I knew that we were going to expand on more stuff with where season 2 left off. And on top of that, hopefully getting more stuff from the Upside Down. So that's where I knew. I mean, what were your expectations going into season 3?
Honestly, before I saw the trailer, I was like, just the waiting time alone,
Yeah.
waiting for the next season is just like, I didn't really start to worry until like you're gonna like, oh, we found out online, oh, there's gonna be an upcoming teaser trailer. I'm like, oh, word. What are they gonna do compared to the last season? How are they gonna spunk it up?
It to me, I thought season 3. I mean, it was highly anticipated. Everybody, it was like a phenomenon. Once it hit on Netflix, everybody was watching it, and it's one of those shows where it's, people are anticipating it, but it's also one of those things where it could highly be great, or it could be one of those that everybody just says, oh, this is crap, and it's went downhill.
Well, I mean, we already got the first 2 seasons, and they only confirmed that they're only going to do 4. And like we're after this season, we're 75% in before this series is over.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, this season had a lot of things going for it, but it could have also ended up being on the lesser side too. So, well, it's time to get into our spoiler discussion here, guys. Remember that we are talking all about season 3, so if you haven't watched it yet, definitely stop this video and then go ahead and watch what we have to say. But let's head into all the spoilery details, shall we, guys?
Yep.
The whole gang is back right here. We got the whole gang. We've got Mike, we've got Lucas, we've got Will, we've got Dustin, we've got Hopper, we've got Joyce, we've got everybody.
11, you name
11. Everybody
well,
is
technically,
here.
11 is the show, so everybody's the sidekick.
Now, that's not to say we don't have any new characters here.
Yeah. We get we get some of the recurring old cast. You get the Wheelers, you know.
Yep.
We get Billy. We get
Billy. Oh my god. Can I say something, man? What? Billy in season 2 was a complete and utter asshole.
Well, you get to find out this season why he's such an asshole.
Okay, you do. Fair enough. But he was.
You also get. Let's see. You get Nancy. You get. You get Steve.
You get Steve.
I forget the one character's name was, the one that his coworker's name.
Oh, yeah, you get her played by Maya Hawke.
Yep.
Yep.
You also get, I forget the actor who plays Alexei in this one.
Yeah, you get some great Russian characters here. You also get the reporter from the not from the first season, from the second season, Murray. Yeah. Who pops up here towards sort of the middle part as well.
We also get what the hell is his name? The actor, one of the jerk reporters, blonde-haired one.
Oh yes.
I keep forgetting his name.
Yes. You get a lot of interesting newer characters to come in here. People that haven't been quite a part of it. Carrie Elways,
yep,
as well here playing the mayor. A lot of new and interesting characters, but it's still about that core group of people.
Yep. It's just
at the end of the day.
expanded a little bit.
Yeah. Now,
of course, you also get one of the fan favorites from the first season and second season. Lucas's little sister, Erica. the Queen of Sass.
The Queen of Sass, wonderful. She has some great stuff to do towards the end of the season.
She knows how to manipulate the system, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely a fan of capitalism. For sure. Now, what did you think of the characters? What did you think of the dynamics out of everything?
Pretty much out of the main core group, minus the Dustin character, you know, because, you know, in the beginning of this season, Dustin went away for camp, and he's just getting home, and trying to reconnect to all of his friends.
But you know what I noticed the theme with this is the fact
they're starting to grow apart.
Yes, not only are they starting to grow apart, but it's like, you know, you have a couple of the guys are more interested in girls, other ones are still more back into the D&D stuff and the whole stuff, and it feels like the separation is getting wider.
Yep. Well, you gotta realize, just for the Will character, he's been through a lot in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, man. He's been through so much pain that I think...
He wants to, like, retreat to being a kid again, you know, not try to grow up.
And the fact that a lot of these guys just are not really wanting to do it. They feel like it's a waste of their time.
And one of the things I'm glad about, and, like, a lot of people complain about this character, I'm glad that the Max character bonds with 11, because you didn't really, you got, like, nothing, you know, other than she, like, 11 kind of hate her because she thought she was going after Mike.
Yes.
You get some bond, you know, they bond a lot in this season.
Yes, like, if you look back at season 2, there was definitely, like, a rivalry there. This time around, it's definitely much more of Max teaching 11 sort of the ways of being a girl.
Young woman.
A young woman, a girl in a lot of ways, whether it's whether it's shopping or telling a guy off, stuff like that, 80s style stuff.
Yep, and they do it in 80s style fun.
They do, Girls just wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have.
Oh, Christ. This was prison. They'd be making me listen to that. They do a lot of 80s type stuff. It's
yes.
like they even do a lot of 80s references, like Red Dawn with the Russian theme in this season.
Yes, or if you remember in the movie theater, they were watching Day of the Dead.
God, that takes you back. And then the timeline in this is 1985.
Yes.
We were toddlers when this happened.
And that was great. Whether they were watching Back to the Future.
I don't care. Is the mom trying to bang him? That's her son? And Steve and the other character are just so stoned out of their mind, and like they didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's great. It's just
that, and you get a Russian Terminator after them.
Yes, you get. There's so many references to so many different types of movies. Whether it's the Terminator, and even when the whole thing with the Upside Down, when the people are getting replaced. It felt like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or
use
something.
That reference a lot in this movie.
Yes, it feels very much that way.
I think the best thing for me, the best thing for this whole season, and like in terms of the monster, was how it developed in this season.
Yes, because
they did it in a unique way.
Because I felt like with all of the characters, and even the Upside Down is a character as well. Everything has to get developed and furthered, and I feel like everything did. All the character arcs and everything. I mean, my favorite character arc, I would have to say, is probably, to me, I have to say it's still Mike and Eleven. I still think it's great. I love their dynamic.
We did get a couple surprises from some other characters.
We did.
Like Dustin.
He
actually had quite a few in this season.
Which, what I love about Dustin is that Dustin is such... He's kind of like Will, where he's somebody who is still maintaining his little bubble. And he hasn't quite left his bubble, ever.
You gotta love it when his friends don't believe when he says something. Like, he finally got a woman.
He's like, she's hotter than Phoebe Cates.
Everybody's like, no way. And she's smarter than hell.
The hotter than Phoebe Cates part is clearly not
and that
true.
That was another 80s reference, the old school video store.
Yes, the old school video stores, or even Starcourt Mall, which was, oh my God!
Don't forget about the Orange Julius.
Orange Julius,
old school stores that no longer exist today.
It definitely reminded you know what the mall and everything reminded me of? It reminded me of like the movie Valley Girl, where they're in the mall and the whole thing with the hair and the colors and everything. It felt that way, man, and it just everything worked really well. I like the theme of growing up. I like the theme of not wanting to be the same old person that you are, trying to grow into a different you. Even people like Hopper and Joyce, who
they just need to get a room and just tear each other's clothes off and get it over with. I mean, everybody's hell. Even Murray says it in this season. It's like, you guys just need to fucking bang and get it over with. And they're both just like awkwardly. I'm like,
they're like, oh no way, you're not doing that.
See, when it comes to Murray, it comes to the truth.
Murray's all about the truth. Murray wants to get down to the truth, and he knows. Nobody else knows.
And surprisingly, he made a friend out of an enemy, and they're like, what was all that about? I told them that they should have sex. They haven't had sex. They're just supposed to start bawling their ass out laughing.
It's, I feel like this season overall, I think, as far as character interactions were concerned, really was one of the highlights.
I will say this, the one scene where the bad guy, aka Billy, the possessed monster, when he's telling Eleven his entire plan, that music behind it was so freaking freaky and scary at the same time. She realizes that she might not be able to stop it this time.
I just really like everything that these characters did in the season, and it wasn't just about the monster itself. Even though the monster's always cool, it's
I like the
more.
side stuff with the Russians and all that.
I like the side stuff with the Russians, because we're talking 80s, we're talking Cold War, and it reminds you of, I don't want to say a more innocent time, because that's not the truth exactly, but
Yeah.
a time when you thought that this was going to be the end. We've got the Cold War, we've got the Russians. You just wanted to have fun, and that's what this season is all about. And it felt it from the word go, and I just really enjoyed it, man. I really did. Honestly, I mean, do you have anything else to say about the character interactions, or?
Thinking about every character interaction, I mean, one good thing was Steve finally won a fight.
Steve finally won a fight, and I will say this much about Steve. Steve,
Gets his ass beat every previous season.
yes, he does. Steve's grown into a great character, and
Sort of become like the older, more responsible brother of the group.
yes. But not only that, but he had this great sort of back and forth love relationship with Nancy that went
Kinda
away.
bombed out.
And then there was a chance for him to do something a little bit more interesting with another character, but they went a more surprising and different route,
Yeah.
which I kind of liked. I liked that they went the fact that it wasn't. You thought it was going in a different way, and it went somewhere more unexpected, which I liked. I still think he's a great character. I think season 4 will definitely have more stuff for him to do.
Yeah.
But
I think the only thing I think lacked for him this season is we didn't get to see him with his bat.
oh yeah. Well, you can't have everything. I think every
Maybe he needs an upgraded weapon.
We're not gonna go with the Negan bat. Don't even say the Negan bat. We're not doing that.
You don't want to turn somebody's head into hamburger helper?
I had to go through hell just watching that one episode of The Walking Dead. We're not rebooting.
I know everybody was answering over that.
No, we're not doing it. Sorry, not gonna
I
happen.
mean, this season's just been one thing after another.
It's been great, and the character interactions alone and the storylines were great. And
I will say this, like certain the one female actress, I forget the heck her name was, the one that played one of the female lifeguards. She
Yes.
looked like somebody out of the 80s. I mean,
I think the clothes and everything. I mean, the further we get into the 80s, the more classic 80s we get. And I think this is just. I think this is just heading into just way.
I will say this is the one. This is probably the only character reaction I could say. Mrs. Wheeler and Billy. We all thought that was going to happen, but that got slammed into a wall. That did not happen.
All I'll say, Mrs. Wheeler, mwah, mwah, honey. You know how to wear a bathing suit, sweetheart. You know how to wear a bathing suit really damn good.
She's probably like working out before she gets to see him every day. So, he's working as the lifeguard at the local pool.
Kind of like working out like I did.
He got nothing but flab.
Character interactions are one thing, guys, but characters they need a foe.
Yeah.
The Upside Down.
Alright,
So-
we'll look at the progression we started. We started with
Okay.
the Demogorgon.
We
which
start.
was, I didn't think they were going to, honestly, I didn't know how the hell they were going to defeat it. They shot that thing, set it on fire, beat it with a bat.
If you remember the end of the first season, when the Demogorgon was full on its feet,
Yep.
and it was like raw and everything, and it just really, you were like, wow, this thing is incredible. And in a lot of ways, I think for me,
Hmm.
I didn't think anything was going to top it. And then in season 2, this weird, large spider-looking thing that look. I don't know whether that's like the leader of the Upside Down. There was no really. You just knew that it was like this
It was like a giant like smoke monster.
this huge imposing figure, and they do more with that in the third season. They go further with it.
More of a physical form for it.
Yes, physical form in the actual real world where it's a spider, but it's almost like it's oh my god, it's
I couldn't even describe it.
no,
It's just terrifying.
it's
Well, it's what interesting at how they made it in this one is like everybody who gets possessed by the mind flayer slowly gets changed from human to some kind of supernatural entity.
it has shades of alien to it because it ends up attaching it to your mouth,
Yeah,
and then it kind of
like
something
alters your body chemistry or something
something.
because like when Billy gets changed becomes the sort of like the primary host for it.
Yes.
He gets like superhuman strength and shit. I mean, he's like doing stuff that no human should be able to do. I mean, he's getting thrown through a concrete wall.
Yes. Oh
and
my
he walks
god,
away
dude.
from it.
That's crazy, man.
And you can show that he's not normal anymore because when he's like bleeding, it's like all black now, sort of like something out of X-Files.
Yeah. Oh my god. And or
That and they have like that mental link between all of them.
it's a mental link, but also the ones that die, they turn into this like
They like melt into like goo. And their
yeah.
flesh forms like sort of like a blob-like creature. Then it forms into the monster.
Yeah, and it reminded me of the Blob from the '80s. Like
Oh.
I was like another '80s reference.
That's why I
Like
can never look at Jello again.
I have some Jello in
You're gonna be eating it. Shove it down your throat.
there.
I'm surprised they didn't do a scene from something like that, like the scene where the guy's trying to cut down the girl's shirt and then it absorbs them, something like that. in this season.
Something like, but they definitely were going more into the very like the horror realm with it, more extreme, and I'm kind of curious.
I'm kind of wondering after all the people that get absorbed, I'm like, how are they going to explain all those disappearances?
Well, this is true too. How do you explain that stuff? But more than that, like how like where what. I guess let me ask you this because obviously we've got one more season, but
I don't even know where they're going to go from this. I mean, how are you going to? I mean, after topping this season,
but I guess no. I mean, I guess I'm asking like from the first 3 seasons, what is the goal of the Upside Down? If you had to say that.
make it probably sort of like in the movie Alien, just make it just all about that thing. Make it so it can destroy the entire world and take over.
Are they trying to turn the real world into their world?
Well,
Is that what they're trying to
maybe
do?
that world's like completely dead and there's nothing it can use anymore. Maybe that's why he's trying to come here.
Maybe because I mean, there's that great scene with Billy where he escapes from that underground sort of area, and then he ends up like running away, and then there's the road area, and he ends up turning around, and he's in the Upside Down, and there's another version of himself,
Yeah.
like right there with a whole bunch of other people right in the background.
Well, I mean, we don't know what the process of that thing does to you, how much free will you got left after it takes you over.
No, you don't know at all.
I think the only reason Billy came back near the end was because of Eleven and her powers.
I think so too, and I think also because she was able to reach him in a way that no one else was going to reach him. And speaking of 11, I mean her powers, man, her powers just exponentially. I mean,
last season she's like floating while she's closing the damn gate, and you can tell it's taking a toll on her because her eyes, you can see her eyes and bloodshot and black, and like this season she must have gotten stronger or something because there's a part where she's fighting the formed monster and she's like ripping that thing apart with her bare thoughts. I'm like,
yes.
I mean,
Wow.
it tells you she still gets tired from it, but it makes you wonder, well, she's got to have a limit. And that's a point that Mike makes across, like, It's like, you can't treat her like a machine. Eventually, she's gonna burn out.
Exactly. And I think the real question now is how far has her potential come so far?
I think she's always growing just a little bit stronger every day.
Sure.
But if she pushes too hard, she's gonna have a blowout, and then she's not gonna be able to use her abilities.
This is really tough because at a certain point, see, it's still a mystery of what exactly went down in the whole like facility and everything.
Yeah, what gave her her actual abilities? I mean, yeah, they said her mother was getting tested with a bunch of different types of sensory deprivation and drugs.
I mean, they had that, but I mean, we've only seen one other person that has been like her.
I hope the next season gives us a little bit more, or at least a couple, see at least a couple other test subjects. Because if she's 11 and the other one, and Callie was 8.
8, yes.
There's 10 others out, or there's like 9 others out there.
Were you hoping we'd see one this season or two?
Well, I mean, you already did one with mental projection. You do one with telekinetic and telepathic abilities. It's only obvious you do something with like pyrokinetics.
Okay.
I mean, AKA maybe somebody gets inspiration for Firestarter.
Firestarter, yes. That would be nice. I like her powers growing.
But you still see it starting to take a toll on her using them that excessively.
It's starting to take a toll on her, especially when there's this great scene out. It's probably in the middle of season 3 where she's trying to connect to find where the missing lifeguard is, and she's trying, and you have Billy, and Billy sort of grabbing her, and sort of and you can see that she's trying her hardest, but she's mentally, it just exhausts her to the point of like
there's one point where when she's looking for all the people, you see like she's got multiple tissues where her nose is bleeding. I'm like, eventually she's gonna burn out.
It's just I'm very curious to see where it goes. I like her powers. I like what they're doing with it. I think every season you've gotten to see more stuff with her.
Yeah.
Which I like. I think, to me, the Upside Down and everything is very unique, and so is her powers. And I feel like I don't quite know where it's all going, but I like where they've developed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that, and compared to where it ends this season, of like, where can they go next with it?
Where can they go next with it? Not only where can they go next with it, but like where, once all of this is done, all of the 4 seasons are done, are they going to make it worth, like will you go back to season 3 after the end of season 4 and say, oh, well, that scene with her powers, that clearly indicated where, I mean, I want it to all have a meaning and a purpose. Mm-hmm. And I see her powers, and I see the things with the Upside Down, and I see how connected they are. And I'm hoping that wherever it leads to a satisfying conclusion. Because I feel like season 3 brought it in a really great way, but it needs to get there a little bit more for me to be completely satisfied.
I just hope they don't take too long in the next season to get to a point where they need that back, or
I'm hoping. I mean,
maybe they have to go back to the beginning in order to help them further their progress.
Time travel?
Never know with this series.
No, with this series, anything is possible, especially time travel.
Interdimensional traveling, psychic powers, Russian people, this guy.
Along with the Upside Down and 11 and all the great surprises, well, we can't forget to talk about the deaths.
We had 3 of them in it.
We had 3
characters that we cared about.
We care about. We can talk about all of the Russians that gave their lives.
It'd be like Walking Dead was like, oh, in a memorial to these characters. So I'm like, can we get to the important ones? Not the red shirts.
He doesn't care. He has no feelings.
I like the main people. That's it.
Fair enough. I think the first one to talk about is Billy.
Yeah, surprisingly, Billy, you find out why he's such an asshole.
His father, man.
Yeah, his father treated him like shit.
His father treated him like shit. Now,
the only person he really cared about was mainly his mother.
Yes. Let me ask you this. Because for me, man, was he... I said it earlier. He was a douchebag in the second season.
You know why now? Because his father's an asshole.
But did you feel for the death?
Honestly, I think... And when he dies in it, there's that moment where she's like trying to reconnect him, trying to reach that person.
Yes.
And it was sort of like a tender moment. Like you're not completely hopeless.
No.
You're actually a decent person behind that personality that you try to project.
And he tried to save them.
At least buy them time so that they can survive. Yeah. I mean, he's going up against a 50-foot monster or whatever the size it was.
I don't think he was going to win. I'm just saying.
I'm kind of surprised the monster didn't try to absorb him right then to make him itself even stronger.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That
was like, cool. Oh, I broke free. I can't control him anymore. I can't make him turn into putty.
Oh, I know. And the monster likes putty. So I mean,
I think the person that's most distraught out his death is the stepsister Max.
Yeah, I think so. I think the death was good. I liked it. I don't know if it really affected me the way maybe they wanted it to, but
maybe if you started showing that he wasn't such a douchebag in the beginning of the season.
Maybe, but when you're telling the fat kid in the pool area to
better not run, or I'm gonna throw your fat ass out of here. I'm like,
not much sympathy for the guy.
I mean, he's got all the cougars watching him. They're all just like... It's like the only one and we actually thought it was going to happen is like him and Mrs. Wheeler. He almost got to that point before he got turned into a monster.
He almost did. To be fair, man, he
almost had some cougar.
He almost got some MILF on the menu, and he just didn't. He wasn't able to do it.
Well, I mean, look at who she's married to, Mr. Boring.
Mr. Boring, Mr. Sleepy, Mr. I'll just take a nap.
Senior citizen.
I'll just do that. I could see why she would go with Billy, but Billy was
he looks like one of the characters from one of her romance novels, so.
Oh yeah, so clearly, the 80s romance novels, they're. But I know about it because my mother, did. But mother. Believe me. Anyways, so.
Next character death
is Alexi.
It's like honestly, he wasn't an asshole. I mean,
I felt bad for Alexi.
I felt like he was being forced to do this job to help get the gate powered up, and
yes, because if you remember at the beginning of the season, they're kind of working on it. They weren't able to really get it completely. Some of the Russian scientists died.
That and they're having power surges and stuff.
And he's like, I will give you 1 year. We'll do this, and it's like he's sort of forced into it. I mean, that's what he's been doing.
I mean, from the way he looks at it, it's like you're playing with stuff that they know nothing about.
Yes.
I mean,
I think to me. Alexi,
you got a bromance in this. I mean, him and Murray, surprisingly.
Him and Murray, man, that was a great dynamic duo, man. That really was. I love their back and forth. I love the comedy.
He's like you. It's like be an American, be sweaty, filthy, have the junk food, make sure you have the right smooth or right slushy.
I love that scene with basically Hopper comes back with all the food.
Like get some the wrong slushy type.
He's got a cherry slushy or something like that.
One, I think he was
Strawberry.
Strawberry, yeah, he wanted cherry.
And Hopper's like, well, they didn't have. I can't. What do you want me to do?
Same.
It tastes the same. He's gonna take the damn shake. I thought, you know.
And then they get into a little bit of a fight, saying, "Oh, he's not gonna leave because he knows he's been compromised now. If he goes back, it's a death sentence. So at least with us, he has a chance."
Exactly.
There was one part I thought was funny is when he's like trying to convince Alexi, he was like, "I will help you shut down the machine." It's like,
yes.
But you remind me of fat American Rambo. I like your courage, but not even thin Rambo could do this job.
No. I
think he underestimated the people of that town because, you know, you had 4 kids go in there and sneak in by themselves.
It's great, man. It's really, really honestly great. And I was really feeling for Alexei, and when he got
killed off,
when he got gunned down
by the Russian Terminator,
I think that was a sad moment because you really felt like he was really starting to become part of the team.
Yep.
I guess, and
well, he had his bromance with Murray, so
he had his bromance with Murray, and Murray will no longer have that bromance. Sad for Murray, but it's sad. I will miss Alexei. He was a great character.
He was a pure soul who tried to do good at the end.
He was a pure soul that really tried to do good, and it reminded me of the death of Bob from last season.
And we do get reminiscing from that from Joyce.
We do.
She doesn't want to try to move on, but Hopper's trying to force her to.
And let's get to Hopper, shall we?
See, everybody's been asking the same question. Is Hopper truly dead?
Okay, so let's set it up, right? So they're in the old...
They infiltrated the Russian the Russian underground thing under the mall.
Yes.
Where the machine is.
Yeah.
They managed to get all the way there, and there's a part where he has a fight scene with Russian Terminator to stop the machine.
Yeah.
There's a massive explosion, and now he's like completely cut off from that side, because if he crosses it, he gets literally vaporized.
Yes, he can do that.
So Joyce has to make the decision to help shut down the machine. He knows that he's probably going to die from it.
Most likely, yes.
Then there's just this massive explosion where a bunch of Russian scientists try to stop it. They get vaporized, literally. And then up in smoke. You don't even see what happens to Hopper. He just vanishes in the thin air.
He's gone. So did he die? Or is he...
The way I see it is, if you don't see it, it didn't happen.
Okay, so you're on the thing of like, even though they had him...
Why work all this way in the Hopper in the 3rd season just to kill him off now?
But that's happened before in other shows. They've done stuff like that in
other shows. That's not this show.
Well, all I'm saying is that there's a possibility that they could have just... Because they had this whole great scene...
He was pretty close to the gate. He could have got... The shockwave could have sent him flying through that thing.
True. However... They had this great end with 11 reading the note that he that he wrote for her. You know, Joyce is remembering stuff, and you're thinking to yourself, they seem to be going out of their way to make this final for Hopper.
Oh, I hope not, because that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
You know, a lot of people had issues with Hopper this season. In season 3, a lot of people felt like maybe he wasn't used right or something.
Well, look at his character arc. First season, he's the drug addict, really not giving a shit cop.
That's true.
In season 2, he's more of starting to become the responsible adult again, you know, potential father. This season, you see him in father mode.
Yes, in father mode, and somebody who's trying to maybe...
try to keep his teenage adopted daughter pure and clean.
Yes.
It's kind of hard when she's got a teenage boy in her room half the time.
Yes.
I said 3 inches. Trust me, him and Mike have a talk. Come on, you're used to having 3 inches. I'd say. Oh, in his case, 1.5 inches. Trust me, Mike gets an earful from him.
My Hopper was great to me this
That
season.
scene, I think that was literally one of his best scenes this season.
Oh, absolutely! I loved Hopper this season. To me, I really did, and I felt like he was the perfect he was the perfect sort of father figure, and I think everything from his sort of flirtation stuff with Joyce to the stuff he did with 11 this season, to me, if they did if they did do this as a final thing for him, I don't think it's a bad way to go out. I honestly don't think it's a bad way to go out at all. I agree with you that I would like him to stay.
That kind of conflicts with the potential spoiler from the post-credit scene.
Which basically is we're in a Russian compound, wherever.
Russian prison somewhere.
And they take this one guy out.
It's like, no, not the American.
Not the American.
Him.
And then we get the whole thing where they have a demo dog and
it wasn't demo dog. I think that was Demogorgon.
Really? Oh, okay, it was a Demogorgon. But my thing about it is like, who's the American? Is it?
There's three possibilities for me for this one.
Okay.
One, main one, probably most likely, it's Hopper. Two, we never actually saw Brenner's death. We just see him get knocked to the ground from the Demogorgon attack.
Okay, I could have sworn we did, but maybe again
you see him get tackled to the ground, but you don't actually see his actual death itself.
I thought he was dead. Okay, maybe I thought he was dead.
Or it could be Murray, because he disappeared in like the last scene as everything's getting wrapped up.
It could have been. I'm gonna say it's probably Hopper. I would cross our fingers, but to me
that could how it connected Demogorgon to him to 11, get the whole roll back and going again.
It could connect in a really nice way if they were to do it. If not, then I mean Hopper's been great, and hate to see him go, but
I mean, what else can you do? Is another Hellboy movie?
Oh God, don't wish that on anybody. Please don't.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get Mila Jovovich as a Russian character next season. You will betray the Upside Down.
Now that season 3 is done and over with, now we're on to season 4, which is what, a year away now?
Feels like a lifetime from now.
Oh man!
I realize it's the 4th and final chapter, unless they find a way to convince them to do another one.
People have asked this because it's something that okay, let's put it this way. This season 3 was hugely popular. I think Netflix ended up putting out some sort of
I think it had more hits than almost anything that they put on there.
Yeah, and I heard something about it, and a lot of people are saying, is Netflix gonna finish after season 4? I mean, it's so popular.
I mean, look at the other show, like Lucifer got canceled from Fox, and they did a 4th season from there.
Yeah,
Netflix, and it was so popular, they got it for 5th and final season.
I think season 4 will be the last. I do. I think season 4 will be the last because
the only problem with that is they got to make sure they have a good story for the final season. A lot of stuff gets finalized, and it's like, oh, we got the either potential happy ending or a spin-off for something else.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So, what has to be in season 4? Has to. When
we need to find out, like, the post-credit scene, like, how the Russians get it. Demogorgon, who's the American, will 11 regain her abilities?
Okay.
I mean, hopefully we can see at least another couple of the paranormal kids from the laboratories. I mean, we gotta finally see if they can finally stop the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down.
But let me ask you this also. Do you think that there is because look, final seasons of shows, it's tough, man.
It's hard to get a perfect final season.
It's hard to do it, and
I don't remember that many shows that did their series finales perfect.
I honestly don't. And
I got one, and that was like back in the day.
which one was that?
Was the spinoff from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh,
with
you love that finale of
that
Angel.
finale was
You love
such
that
an
finale.
epic way for them to go out.
I remember that when that finale happened, and you literally were like, "This is perfect."
The way
This
that they
is-
ended it is just like
You
it's
loved
not an end, it's not a beginning or an ending. It's just like we just keep on
We'll
going.
just keep on going. That's what we're doing. Let me ask you this: Is there a potential for this thing to fail? Is there a potential for season 4 and the
The
finale
way it's
to
been
fail?
going for the stories, I think if it does fail, it'd be a shocker.
Okay, so you think it's going to succeed more
I
than it will
mean,
fail?
I could suggest a few things that they could put into it.
Okay.
If Hopper is alive, they got to find a way to get back to him. Like just
Yes.
with the stuff with 11, how she's going to get her abilities back, and if this is the final fight between her and the Mind Flayer, is she going to survive it?
It's got to be epic.
I mean, this one almost killed her this season.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like every season has sort of upped the ante, and if this one doesn't sort of do the biggest best thing,
And
then
I mean, there's like another character who surprisingly sings in this season, Dustin.
Dustin, oh boy,
And, Dusty Buns and Susie Q. Which, honestly, when they sang Never Ending Story, it made me feel like a child again.
I kind of feel like they like the Dusty Buns thing. They kind of stole that because my usual nickname for you is Bobby Buns, so they kind of
No, hell no.
my Bobby Buns.
He's gonna get murdered right now, so this is not a video confession. I'm gonna do it like Stranger Things.
I do that.
I'm surprised she didn't do like the Darth Vader this season.
Yeah, that would have been like because it's '85, so all of the first 3 Star Wars films are all out. But you know what? I think there's a lot of things for me. First of all, you have to see. It's very tough for me because I want the Upside Down to be explained, but I don't want it to be over explained.
If they're gonna do anything for final season, they actually have to have 11 go over to the Upside Down itself.
She has to.
Yeah, it's kind of like the final countdown for her. It's like
Okay.
in order to stop this thing completely, she's got to go in there and kill it. Even that means if she doesn't survive.
I think there's got to be that. I think there's got to be great sort of final character moments, like with her and Mike. I think
That'd be an interesting plot line to use for the next season. I know
What?
they're probably like minor. It's like the long distance relationship between her and Mike isn't working. Maybe he's starting to get interested in somebody else.
okay, that could be true too. I mean, there
Because
could
you know
be
they
that.
like to do those kind of romance triangle things.
There could be some interesting character dynamics here. I want them to sort of to do more stuff with the power stuff with 11.
There was one interesting tidbit that I read online.
What?
But if they were watching a certain movie starring Winona Ryder back in the 80s called Beetlejuice, how are they going to explain why she looks so familiar?
But to be fair, that was goth Winona. That was goth Winona.
Yeah,
at the
but
time.
it's going to kind of like, hey, Mrs. Byers, look kind of like that girl on TV. What movie are you watching? Beetlejuice. It's like, I don't really care for that movie.
I don't really care for that. Or I would actually make it into a joke where Winona would say, I was like, God, she's a terrible actress. God, she's terrible. Or something like that.
That
Just
would
make
be
it into a
funny.
joke. I think it would be great. I'm hoping for a great final season, a great finale to this whole thing.
And we need to see more Dustin and Susie because they were just so cute in this final episode of the season.
They were great, and I think they I think they saved it towards the end because I don't think they knew exactly.
Everybody was wondering, Is she real? I mean,
Not
are
only,
you just saying that?
yes, I love that so much. I think we
Don't
need.
forget, she's hotter than Phoebe Cates, so.
Okay. If she can't pull off the getting out of the pool scene, then she is not as hot as
You
Phoebe
pervert!
Cates.
She's only a
Okay,
teenager.
I'm just saying. If you can't pull that off, don't even attempt to say that.
Oh Lord.
So we need more of her. We need more of Lucas's sister,
Erica.
Erica. We need more of her because she's
You can't
great.
save America without Erica.
Erica, yeah, baby. We need more of that. I just, you know what? To me, as far as season 3 was concerned, I thought, I really.
Well, if you do a time jump like they've been doing,
yes,
you've
probably do another year or two.
I mean, if you're gonna do like the end of an era thing, I mean, it's kind of be hard to make them look older. I would say do like 89 going into 90.
Wow, that would be a jump though. That
Or
would be
do
like,
a time jump where they're all a little bit older. Sort of like in like the Stephen King's It.
that's true, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're just gonna do maybe another year or two is what they're probably gonna do.
I think at best a year. I don't think they're gonna go 2 years.
Yeah,
2 years is kind of pushing it.
Yeah, they're not gonna go that
If they're gonna
far.
do anything, they need to finalize the stuff with the Russians.
Yes.
We gotta find out what's that doctor scientist that was helping them.
Oh.
Not Brenner, the other one.
Yeah, the other one.
One that
Yeah.
made 11 Hopper's official daughter.
Yes. Oh, Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need him
Yep.
back, and it's like he needs to be part of the group now because
We need him in there more. We do. I think for me, I think season 3 was a really great sort of season overall. Whether it was the action with the mind flare in the mall, which was absolutely awesome.
I love how they used fireworks to fight that thing.
Oh man, the fireworks stuff was really cool and really inventive. The mind flare stuff with the CGI I thought was really cool.
I love how it's like, oh, we got a weapon, you got 11. I'm like, you see that thing? That thing almost kicked her ass once. She needs help.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, she needs the help from the other kids from the laboratory.
I know. Like, to me, I think this was a really great season overall, and it really just made the earlier seasons just better in context, but it also just made you feel like your time was worth it watching it. I mean, I guess I would ask you, would you recommend season 3 to people overall?
I mean, if you already watched season 1 and 2, you might as well continue with 3.
3, I mean, I think 3 is
if
great.
you've gone this far, you might as well complete it out.
You might as well complete the whole.
I mean, in a lot of ways, if you wanted to end it and not worry about season 4, this would be the end of season 3 would be the cutoff point.
I think. Could you? Let me ask you this, but before we end this and everything, like, do you think like they could end at season 3 and it would be fine? Like, yeah, you'd have questions, but you'd probably.
Yeah, but isn't it better to have like one or two couple questions and it's just like, oh, I need everything answered?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I have no problem with it.
I mean, look at stuff like the X-Files. Even you got all this stuff completed, but you still got a bunch of questions at the end. Like, you don't need it anymore.
And then you do season 10 and 11, and then you over.
If they do a season 17 and 18 of Stranger Things, 11's in menopause, and
I mean, 11's gonna start looking like me, and that's a real problem. So
you're 1, right?
You can fuck off. Alright, everybody, that will do it for the Stranger Things Season 3 spoiler discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed Season 3. Definitely let us know what you think of the season, what you think of the previous seasons. Did they build on the hype from the other seasons, or was this one a dud? We don't think it is, but maybe you guys do. Definitely let us know, and let us know where you think season 4 can go, what your predictions are. Thank God they don't do anything at the casino where you have to bet on, because I would probably lose a lot of money I don't go to the casinos anyways, but if I had to bet on stuff, I'd probably be losing a lot of money. And
Yep.
I would be broke.
You'd be balder than 11 in season 1.
I'd be selling my hair in order to so.
We got that much there to sell.
I'll shave yours.
Mine grows back quicker than yours.
Oh, he is right. Guys, definitely let us know what you think, and we'll be back next time for another spoiler discussion. In the meantime, me and Bobby Buns. And I just
Damn it, it's not working.
he's so cute, my Bobby Buns.
He's gonna get murdered now, so say goodbye.
See you later.